यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुनतीरवनचारि यमुनतीरवनचारि जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुनतीरवनचारि यमुनतीरवनचारि जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की श्री गुरु गौरांग की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 8, Text number 26. Name Sava Parayanti Brahman Nashanadami Pibato Chutapiyusham Tadvakyadhi Vinisrutam. Name Sava Parayanti Brahman Nashanadami Pibato Chutapiyusham Tadvakyadhi Vinisrutam. Name Sava Parayanti Brahman Dashnadami Pibato Chutapiyusham Tadvakyabhi Vinisrutam. Matajis. Na, never, me, mine, asavaha, life, parayanti, parayanti, becomes exhausted, Brahman, O learned Brahman, Ashanadami, because of fasting, Pibataha, because of my drinking, Achyuta, of the infallible, Piyusham, nectar, Tat, your, Vakyabdi, ocean of speech, Vinisrutam, flowing down from. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O learned Brahman, because of my drinking the nectar of the message of the infallible personality of Godhead, which is flowing down from the ocean of your speeches, I do not feel any sort of exhaustion due to my fasting. Purport. The disciplic succession from Brahma, Narada, Vyasa and Shukadeva Goswami is particularly different from others. The disciplic successions from other sages are simply a waste of time, being devoid of Achyuta Katha, or the message of the infallible Lord. The mental speculators can present their theories very nicely by reason and arguments, but such reasons and arguments are not infallible, for they are defeated by better mental speculators. Maharaj Parikshit was not interested in the dry speculation of the flickering mind, but he was interested in the topics of the Lord because factually he felt that by hearing such a nectarian message from the mouth of Shukadeva Goswami, he was not feeling any exhaustion, even though he was fasting because of his imminent death. One can indulge in hearing the mental speculators, but such hearing cannot endure for any length of time. One will be exhausted very soon from hearing such hackneyed ways of thinking, and no one in the world can be satisfied simply by hearing such useless speculations. The message of the Lord, especially from a personality like Shukadeva Goswami, can never be tiring, even though one may be exhausted from other causes. In some editions of Srimad Bhagavatam, the text of the last line of this verse reads, Anyatra Kupidad Vijat, which means that the king might be overwhelmed by the thought of his imminent death by snake bite. The snake is also twice born, and its anger is compared to the cursing Brahmana boy who was without good intelligence. Maharaj Parikshit was not at all afraid of death, for he was fully encouraged by the message of the Lord. One who is fully absorbed in Achyuta Katha can never be afraid of anything in the world. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the devotees for morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Thank you for joining. So we see in this chapter the absolute eagerness of Parikshit Maharaj to hear from his spiritual master Shukadeva Goswami. And we know that he is on the verge of death. He is about to die within 7 days. And at this critical moment of his life, he has all the time in the world to sit in front of his spiritual master without drinking and eating. And most importantly, he has so many questions to ask. So far we have heard those questions. Devotees in the previous classes have discussed about the questions of Parikshit Maharaj. And thanks to the our Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, who has actually given this Bhagavad Subodhini, in which he has given the subject matter in such a way that it becomes all the more easy to understand Bhagavatam and very enriching also. And if you see in this entire chapter, the first 6 verses spoken by Parikshit Maharaj, wherein he is inspiring his spiritual master, Shukadeva Goswami, to speak Krishna Katha. And in this section we can hear the iconic verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. Those are Shrunvata Shraddhaya Nityam Granatascha Swacheshtitam. This is one of the very important verses of Bhagavatam. And also we see this another verse, Pravishta Karanarandhrena Swanam Bhava Suroruham. These are considered as very important verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, which are spoken by Parikshit Maharaj, the first 6 verses of this chapter. And later on, from 7 to 23, verse number 23, the questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj have been enumerated very nicely. And again from 24 to 29, again he is inspiring his spiritual master Shukadeva Goswami to speak Krishna Katha. So we can see the eagerness of enthusiasm of this great soul, Parikshit Maharaj, that he is again and again and again before and after. He is requesting his spiritual master, inspiring his spiritual master. Is somehow or other he wants to hear from his spiritual master. So this is the eagerness shown by Parikshit Maharaj. So this is the selflessness and the goodness of these good people that brings goodness to this material world, and auspiciousness. And it is not possible to glorify enough these Pandavas, because look at their personalities, each one of them, all the 5 Pandavas and the grandson like Parikshit. They are so benevolent, and their life is such a dynamic, and also their entire life is meant for serving others. And when you look at these personalities, like of course our Arjun, because of his eagerness, his enthusiasm, we have Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is like a great book of Vedic literatures. And at the same time, Parikshit Maharaj, because of his eagerness, we have Srimad Bhagavatam, such an amazing literature. And now we are relishing the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam through the purports given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. So, so now I just wanted to actually read out those questions, because almost like 27 questions have been asked by Parikshit Maharaj. So, let us just go through them. Yeah. So it is very important to understand what sort of questions is he asking at the time of death. So therefore I thought of reading them. Please hear attentively and bear with me. Firstly, he said that how did Jiva, who is spiritual, attain a body which is material? Secondly, he said that the body of the Lord and those of the common living entities look same. What is the specific difference between them? Thirdly, third question, Brahma appeared from the navel of the Lord. Is the form of the Lord similar to that of the material body of Brahma, or is it different? Fourth question, where does Kshurodaksha Vishnu lie? He is on the verge of death. He is thinking about Kshurodaksha Vishnu, about his lying down and sleeping. Karanaduksha Vishnu rather, sorry. Fifthly, are there any more details about the descriptions of the universal form? And then he says, sixth question, speak about Kalpa, Vikalpa, and how time is perceived in the various ages and in various planetary systems. Seventh question, dimensions of time. Eighth, about karmic reactions. Ninth, how do various karmic activities lead to various bodies? 10th, creation of the various places in this universe and about creation of their inhabitants. 11th, dimensions of the universe. He is interested in understanding the entire dimension of the entire universe. Activities of devotees is the 12th question. 13th, about Varnashram. 14th, about yugas, duration, yuga dharma, and activities of yugavataras. 15th, about sadharana dharma, vishesha dharma, and apad dharma. 16th, speak about elements. 17th, worship of Purusha avatars. 18th, Yoga Mishra Bhakti. 19th, the opulence, destination, and destruction of the subtle body of a yogi. He is a devotee, he knows the process of devotional service is the supreme, but is interested in understanding the opulence, destination, and destruction of the subtle body of a yogi. 20th, conclusion of all the Vedic scriptures. 21st, deliverance from samsara for all living entities. This is what is very, very important. He is on the verge of death and he is thinking about others' deliverance. Anyway, he knows that he is going back to Godhead, but at the same time, he is very much concerned about others' destination. 22nd, favorable and unfavorable activities for bhakti. 23rd, rules of Vedic smarta, kamya and trivargic karmas. 24th, reappearance of jivas after pralaya. 25th, creation of pashandis. 26th, about the nitya siddhas. 27th, he is asking, how does the Lord perform his leelas using Yogamaya and then disappears without any attachment? So these are the 27 questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj at the time of his death. So what we can learn from these great souls is that the life is not meant for enjoyment. Rather, it is meant for service. And in fact, Michael Norton, Harvard emeritus, the great scientist and a professor, he did a research. It is documented in the Wire magazine. It said that he actually took a lot of his money from his pocket and he went to various cities of the world, and then he gave this money to the people to spend. And he told these, he made two groups of people. He went to America, South America, Asia, Africa, Australia, and everywhere else. Went to the major cities and he found people, he divided into two groups. Then he gave money to one group. He said, take this money and spend it on yourself. Whatever you want to buy, whatever you want to eat and enjoy, you can do that. They happily accepted it. And secondly, he went to the another group of people. He also handed over to them some money and he said that, okay, you also can spend this money. By the way, you have to spend it for others, not for yourself. That you can give charity work, you can give food, clothing, whatever you want to do, you can do. So he actually gave these instructions. And actually what happened, later on when he met them, he asked them, okay, he went to the first group of the people, he asked, how did you spend your money? They said, we went to hotels, we enjoyed food, beverages, and we bought cosmetics, dresses for ourselves, and some of them bought gadgets, electronic gadgets. Thus, they spent all of the money. And then he asked them, what was your experience? Experience, it is normal, as usual, because we spend all the time, we spent money on ourselves, it is but natural. What is so great about it? He understood what they meant. And then he went to another group of people. He asked the same question. So how did you spend the money which I gave you? They said, as you told us that we spent it in charity. In what way? They said that we bought food for others, clothes for others, we bought some gadgets for others, and like this. So what the first group of people did, the same thing was done by the others, but it was meant for others' benefit. And then he asked that question once again, what was your experience? They said, we felt great, amazing, wonderful. I said, what is so great about it? He said that we also used to spend money on ourselves, but this time, as per your instructions, we spent that money for others, and we felt contentment within our hearts, some great happiness, satisfaction. Then he asked this question, so what is great about it? I think these people said, second group of people said, I think the real satisfaction comes from helping others, giving something to others. So the real happiness of life or satisfaction not comes necessarily by indulging one's own sense gratification, but to do something for others. Is it not? So here we see the great personality like Parikshit Maharaj. He is about to die, his destiny is for sure, he is going to go back to Godhead, but yet he is concerned to the welfare of others. So therefore, he also concluded, Michael Norton, the happiness, real happiness comes from doing something for others, not simply doing everything for one's own self. So it is also said that sense gratification can be done all throughout one's life. It is done only during one's youth. Because as soon as old age sets in, there is no more sense enjoyment. But service can be rendered from childhood to the fag end of life, is it not? We see Prahlad Maharaj. From childhood, he is interested in service to others. He was preaching to his schoolmates, classmates, Krishna Katha. And we see the example of Srila Prabhupada. He was at the age of 78 or 77, on the verge of death. He is sleeping on that bed, Krishna Balaram temple, we know that place. And he was still interested in giving purports to his books, Bhaktivedanta purports. He has not eaten, he has drunk any water, he is lying on the bed about to leave his body, but still he is interested in doing welfare activity for others. If one is not experiencing any happiness, why would anyone do that? Is it not? And we see Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, another great personality. He is in his 95s, 95, 96-year-old person, but he is still writing what? Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that goes to show that when we do something for others, especially spiritual activities, it will not only benefit us, but the entire world. And in return, we can actually feel that satisfaction. Actually, George Harrison wrote that important sentence or statement in that beginning of Krishna, introduction of Krishna book. He said that everybody is looking for Krishna. Somebody knows it, some do not know it. We are looking for Krishna means we are looking for happiness. And that happiness we understand it comes by serving Krishna and Krishna's devotees and people in general. And recently we had this very sad demise of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, who left us. And the glorification was amazing in so many places. All the 4 temples here in Mumbai, Vrindavan, Mayapur and everywhere else. And everywhere these devotees, whoever spoke, they were quoting one very important incident happened in his life. And the video was also circulated. I think we all must have seen it. Wherein Maharaj is actually doing deity worship. He is almost like sleeping. But he is actually offering whatever he is offering to his. He has a beautiful Shaligram Shila, which he worships. In fact, once I had the great fortune of going to Juhu to take darshan of his deities and render some service. He has Shaligram Shila and also Gaur Nitai. Wherever he goes, he used to take these deities. And every single day he did deity worship. No matter what kind of other activities he did, he was very particular about his deity worship and also very particular about his sadhana, morning sadhana. And he did not miss even one single Gayatri, it is said. Whatever the time is, however busy he is, he never missed his sadhana. And amidst all of the enormous responsibilities he took on behalf of entire ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada. So that goes to show that how devotees take pleasure in service to Krishna and carrying out their responsibilities for the spiritual master and also doing good for others. So, thus ultimately, of course, Srila Prabhupada speaks in the purport about how much Parikshit Maharaj is very eager to hear Krishna Katha. And Prabhupada said that we should hear Krishna Katha coming from disciplic succession. Brahma, Vyasa and all those disciplic succession. When we go out of disciplic succession and hear Krishna Katha, it is simply waste of time. So therefore, our acharyas have given voluminous literatures. And there are tons and tons of stories of Krishna, of Lord Ram and Lord Chaitanya and other avatars. So it is a very tough time to choose which one to speak from. Sometimes it happens. So because generally we analyze how important it is to hear Krishna Katha, speak Krishna Katha. So the entire class is based on so many reasons why we should hear Krishna Katha and Harikatha and how much important it is to chant the holy names and everything. So the ultimately, and then because the time is up now, we have to end the class. So the point what I am trying to say is that we also have to sit and hear Krishna Katha directly. Okay, hearing Krishna Katha is important, no doubt about it. We should hear such classes and give such classes. Sometime we can also just speak Krishna Katha, because that is the purpose of all these purports and all these classes. And I was thinking which one to speak from. And then I was thinking, recently we concluded Chandan Yatra. Thought of speaking about Chandan Yatra. And of course in that Padyavali, Rupa Goswami has compiled these words. Aho aho bhir na kaler viduyate sudha sudharam madhuram pade pade dine dine chandra na chandra shitala yasho yashoda tanayascha giyate. He says that the difficulties and problems in Kali Yuga are endless. They are limitless. There is no point in solving those problems. Rather, he is giving us a solution. Sudha sudharam madhuram pade pade. He says that why don't you just drink Krishna Katha, Hari Katha? That is like Amrit, nectar. And the effect of it is that Dine Dine Chandra Chandra Shitala, every day we should hear Dine Dine. And it is like a cooling Chandra and also Chandana. Let us say, now we are eagerly waiting for monsoon. All over India, all over the world, we see how much the sun is becoming hotter and hotter day by day. So we are very eagerly waiting for that monsoon rays, monsoon showers. So similarly, if at all we get to, on a Purnima day, and somebody comes and applies chandan on our forehead and hands over a glass of lassi, how will we feel? So more than that, one can feel satisfaction when properly hears Krishna Katha. So, and Yasho Yashoda Tanayashchigiyate, and he is very particular about which Katha we should hear. Yashoda Tanay are Krishna's pastimes one should be interested in hearing from. So therefore, of course there are two Chandana Yatras, one in Chaitanya Charitamrita which we are very much aware of, that is Madhurya Puri, going to Jagannath Puri and bringing Chandan and applying it on the body of Gopinath. And of course there is another one, such a beautiful pastime of Chandan Yatra which we find in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the story of Trivakra or Sairandri or Kubja. So let us discuss from this particular chapter of 42nd chapter of 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada has given us beautiful purports and it is simply amazing. So, Lord Shri Krishna so far has stayed in Vrindavan, performing his beautiful loving pastimes with his devotees. Now, he has enjoyed a lot at home. He has a lot of fun, frolicking, and amazing pastimes, beautiful interaction with his devotees. He thinks I had enough of this. So now he wants to do something extra. So therefore he is coming out of Vrindavan to do something extra. Previously he performed prema pastimes, loving pastimes. Now he wants to establish dharma So now he is into dharma pastimes. He wants to do something more for the people in general. Actually, in Vrindavan, he enjoyed himself with his devotees, but he also wanted to establish Vedic religious principles. So therefore, he is actually, it is said that Krishna never comes out of Vrindavan. Padam ekam na gacchati. But still, he comes out and establishes religion, which is also very, very important. So, Akrura was sent by Kamsa to fetch Krishna and Balram. He comes with a new chariot and he tells that, please come to Mathura because there is a sacrifice of this bow which is lifted by Lord Shiva. So you have been invited. So he took Krishna Balram away from Vrindavan to Mathura. And first time they are going out of this small village of Vrindavan. They are coming to a great city like Mathura. Of course, it's its own city in the sense that is where he took birth. But as soon as he took his birth, so he actually moved to Vrindavan. So now again he is going back to his birthplace, Mathura. And Krishna Balram, they come to Mathura, they are mesmerized, they are amazed to see the beauty and grandeur of this great city of Mathura. And they explored Mathura, they went here and there, they were watching everything as if they are seeing for the first time. He is the one who has created the entire world. But it appears that Krishna is first time seeing all these big, big buildings and these big, big gardens and parks and everything else. And then actually Akrura wanted to bring him home, Krishna Balram. Krishna said, no, I have to do my duties first, I'll come later. So he sends actually Akrura back home. And now Krishna Balram, they are now trying to interact with the people of Mathura. So Krishna Balram in fun, they actually approached a washerman. We know that. And he, in his very inimitable way, Krishna Balram, they are asking him, why don't you give us some clothes? We want to wear. So now we can see how washerman behaved. Of course, these clothes were meant for Kamsa, naturally, and he became all of a sudden furious, angry towards these children, and he yelled at them, don't you know that these clothes are meant for Kamsa? Are you so foolish to ask that which is meant for the king? Don't you understand? These kind of very, very harsh words he used. Instead, he would have said, okay, I am sorry, actually I would have given you, but just look at my position. If I give these clothes to you, then what about my life? So therefore I am extremely sorry. And Krishna would have forgiven him. But he became furious and he received the necessary chastisement. And Krishna, out of his very great compassion and mercy, and out of his transcendental anger, he actually beheaded washerman. So it may sound very harsh, but Krishna also wants to teach us through this pastime. So if you don't surrender, Krishna first requests us, and then it depends on us how we react, how we respond to Krishna's call. So even if one is unable to surrender, but he can explain to Krishna, this is my... But when one behaves in such a rude way, then we see how much he'll suffer. Of course, Krishna's benediction, Krishna's beheading, his people, this washerman, has same benediction, same kind of a effect in the sense that certainly anybody who was killed by Krishna personally will achieve destination, the highest destination of going back to the spiritual world. So this is what happened to washerman. And we see the another washerman in Ram Leela also. I think these washerman people are not very good at speaking, I think. There also he did something wrong, and entire Ayodhya suffered. And here he is actually putting himself in a dangerous position of being killed by Krishna. Of course, in one way it is good, but at the same time, this is not the way he should have behaved. Rather, he should have explained his problem or given whatever he had to Krishna, and Krishna would have delivered him. He would have taken care of him later, because we see then later instances what happens. Then Krishna, anyways, he actually took out all those clothes. Krishna and Balram, they dressed up themselves, and then they are walking further in the streets of Mathura. So therefore, when the opportunity knocks, people complain about the sound. Why somebody is knocking at my door? If that person is coming and offering you a job offer, maybe some person or a postman or somebody, courier person, if he is coming and knocking the door, so then we cannot complain, because unless we open the door and understand what it is, we will never come to know. Similarly, he couldn't understand the great fortune he had in front of him. Krishna, Balram were coming right in front of him, and he had the great fortune of serving them, but he missed the chance. And then Krishna, Balram, they approach tailor and he stitched cloths for them, he pleased them, and Krishna gave them auspicious benedictions. And in fact, it is said that he gave them Sarupya Mukti. This tailor got that Sarupya Mukti. Same form of as Krishna he got in the spiritual world. And then Krishna goes to Sudama, the florist, who was selling the flower garlands. And this is the best example how a devotee should welcome Krishna. He came to the house of this Sudama. Sudama was so happy to see. He offered obeisances to Krishna, and Krishna, Balram, they asked, can you give us 2 garlands? So immediately he gave the fresh garland. Right in front of them he must have made those garlands and offered these 2 beautiful garlands to these 2 beautiful lords. And in return what they got? That is something very interesting, which everybody wants. He got material opulence, prosperity, long life, and at the end of life, residence in the spiritual world. Who doesn't want this kind of? Because ultimately, we are told, okay, now in this lifetime you have to suffer. At the end, you may get spiritual life, spiritual world, and all of that. That is how, that is a fact also for most of us. But here, he got best of both the worlds, is it not? He got to live in this material world for a long time with great material opulence and prosperity, and at the end there is a guarantee that he will go back to Godhead. Because one gets material opulence and prosperity and long life, one may become puffed up and proud. Thus he may lose the chance to go back to the spiritual world. But Krishna has already given him assurance that you enjoy here and your destination is guaranteed. And that is just because he offered 2 garlands to Krishna and Balram. See the reciprocation, how Krishna has awarded them. So therefore it is said that perish or flourish as you wish. So it is in our own hands. As we wish, we can either flourish like this Sudama florist and tailor, or else we can perish like this washerman. Choice is ours. So also Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, Ye tha mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. Is equal to all. Those who render service to him, they will get benefit. Others, they will perish. So Krishna goes further, and then he sees this beautiful lady Kubja. He had hunchback and she was carrying a chandan or sandalwood paste to offer it to Kamsa. And now she also has the dilemma whether it should be given to Krishna or to Kamsa. Because if Kamsa comes to know that she has given my sandalwood to Krishna Balram, then certainly he would have dealt with her. That means she is actually facing a death threat. If at all he comes to know that my possession has been given to somebody else. But still she took that great risk, and then she offered Krishna Balram this beautiful chandan, and he actually with her own hand he applied chandan on Krishna Balram from navel and above. And it is said that she applied yellow chandan, or she mixed some colors, sandalwood pulp, and applied on Krishna's body, who is actually blackish in color. He applied yellow chandan on Krishna, and something like bluish or some dark color chandan on the body of Balram. So thus she actually pleased these two lords. And then certainly when somebody pleases Krishna, what happens? We'll see what happens here. So it said, Rupa Peshala Madhurya Hasita Alapa Vikshitai. Actually, Krishna bombarded Sairandri with his grace and opulence and beauty. Rupa, his beauty; Peshala, his charming nature; Madhurya, his sweetness, conquered her heart; Hasita, he was smiling very beautifully; Alapa, he was talking very, very pleasantly; and Vikshita, he had a very pleasing glances. So ultimately, she actually surrendered. And Darshitatma Dado Sandram Ubayor Anulepanam. She was actually, she actually surrendered in front of Krishna, looking at Krishna's beauty and all these beautiful qualities. And she forgot all about Kamsa, and she started applying chandan on the body of the Lord, Krishna Balram. And of course, what happened after that? Prasanno Bhagavan Kubja. When Lord Krishna became very much pleased upon this Kubja, and he made her a most beautiful lady in the world. And I was hearing this katha given by Radha Govinda Goswami Maharaj. He actually analyzed this pastime very beautifully, quoting from different various acharyas. So it's very interesting. It is very mesmerizing also. So he says that, quoting from acharyas, so in Ram Leela, Manthara actually, because of Manthara, Ram lost that throne of Ayodhya. That means it was Rasa Apaharanam, he said that. Rasa is basically Mother Earth. He would be the emperor of the Mother and entire earth, but it was taken away from him. So he says that Rasa Apaharana ho gaya. And in the case of Kubja, what she did, she gave Rasa Arpana. Rasa here also means the sandalwood pulp. There it is Rasa Apaharana, here it is Rasa Arpana. Rasa Arpan. So, so as if, he is thanking Kubja. Okay, last time I lost my kingdom, I lost my Rasa. Rasa here, there means the entire earth planet. I would have become king. Now thank you very much for giving me this Ras. Here the Ras means what? Sandalwood pulp. And then we see that how Bali Maharaj, when he was giving the charity of the entire three-planetary system, he also actually gave Rasa. Rasa means entire earth planet and including lower and higher planetary system. There also he gave Rasa Arpana, he gave that entire planet Earth and other planets to Lord Krishna. And Krishna and Kubja also gave what? Rasa Arpana. Rasa is here again means sandalwood pulp. And when Bali Maharaj actually gave this entire so many planets, okay, only the hand of Bali Maharaj as well as Vaman Dev got wet because he gave that arpan. Only little bit of coolness was felt by Vaman Dev because of pouring water in the hands of Vaman Dev. But here Kubja is giving such a cool effect of applying chandan on the entire body of Krishna Balram, and it is there for most of the time of the and in the entire day. So thus Kubja offered the beautiful chandan. So there also it is rasa arpana, and in case of Kubja also it is rasa arpana. And then actually Krishna was thinking, I think Brahma made a big mistake of making this beauty lady very beautiful, but he has put the extra burden of making her hunchback. So that's not a very good thing to do. I think he doesn't know how to create. Okay, so there also in gopis are also kind of chastising Lord Brahma. You do not know how to actually create, because you have created these eyelashes, so because of which we cannot see Krishna. Again, here also Krishna is thinking that actually Brahma doesn't know how to create. So therefore, because we consider Brahma to be the son of Krishna, sometimes when the son does any mistake, father comes and corrects it. Is it not? So here Krishna is personally coming and changing the entire body structure of this Kubja, making her most beautiful. So we also see that in the previous times when this Chaitanya Charitamrita was being published by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada had given them only 2 months period of time. 2 months, within 2 months they had to publish 19 volumes of Chaitanya Charitamrita. It was too much of a rush, very less time. So therefore, all the publishers, the proofreaders and so many devotees, they were having a very hectic schedule. Also, the artists who had to paint different paintings for the books, they were also very busy. And it is said that sometimes when the artist would sit in front of the paintings and they used to paint all day and night, they used to go sleep. They would sleep right in front of their paintings on their chairs. And some senior artists like Murlidhar Prabhu, Parikshit Prabhu, Bharadraj Prabhu, and Yadurani Mataji, they would come and they would finish the painting and they would complete it. So thus sometimes when junior devotees, if they cannot complete a work or if their work is not very satisfactory, then the senior devotees can come and complete it and make it more beautiful. Just like here in case of Krishna is doing it for his dear son, Lord Brahma. And then Maharaj says, Radha Govind Maharaj says that Trivakra Tapa Aparati. So Trivakra had tapa. Her tapa is she was feeling attraction towards Krishna. And then actually Krishna fulfilled her desire. He accepted her as his own wife later on. And then also Trivakrata Apahriti. So here Trivakrata means she was bent in 3 places. Trivakra. So that Trivakrata, that means bending in 3 places, was corrected by Lord Krishna. And also Trivakra, that means this Sairandri, this lady had got some desires, tapa, and actually Krishna actually fulfilled her desire. And he actually made corrections in 3 places of this lady: neck, back and legs. She had bent in 3 places: neck, back and her legs. Actually Krishna made her most beautiful lady. And then why 3 places? Maharaj says that Because she served Krishna in three different ways. Mrudu Bhashana, Angaraga Arpan and Nija Karma Tad Vilepan. Mrudu Bhashans. Firstly, she spoke very sweetly to Krishna and Balram. Angaraga Arpan, she applied this sandalwood pulp on the body of Lord Krishna Balram. Nija Karma Tad Vilepan. This is very important. She did it personally. She personally rendered this service to Krishna and Balram. And because she served Krishna Balram in three different ways, so therefore Krishna Balram, especially Krishna, took care of her three problems which were in neck, back and leg. So thus she became most beautiful lady. So therefore this Mrudu Bhashan is very important. We see that could not be done by the washerman. Therefore he got chastisement by Lord Krishna. So therefore once when Devamrit Swami Maharaj was here long back, he was actually giving a Bhagavatam class, then he made this statement. He said that loose lips sinks ships. You got it? Loose lips, and those who speak very loosely, that means they do not know how to speak. What will happen in their life if they are riding on a ships? Their ship might sink, because if they are conversing with somebody else in front of him who has another ship, and if they do not know how to talk, then the opposite party may destroy this thing and they may lose their own ship. So therefore he made this beautiful statement, loose lips sink ships. So therefore Mruduvashan is very important. We can learn from Sairandri how, because she spoke very pleasantly to Krishna and Balram, so she got best of the benedictions. And then she very boldly served Krishna, Balram, and then actually she wanted Krishna Balram to come to her place. But Krishna Balram, as I said, they had higher duties. They said, we'll come later. And later on, Krishna goes to her place, not with Balram, because how can he go with Balram? He's his elder brother. So he takes Uddhava with him and then visits the place of this lady and fulfill her desire. So therefore the price is to surrender to Krishna's will. And when surrenders to Krishna's will, then something magical happens. So some time ago here we had Rukmani Mataji, and she gave Bhagavatam class, and she was narrating her own story of initiation, and she is supposed to be very beautiful. Prabhupada appreciated her beauty, and then she came to accept the beads. Prabhupada gave her a statement, very wonderful instruction. You are beautiful anyways, now start the process of becoming beautiful internally. He told her. The chanting Hare Krishna is a process of becoming beautiful internally, because we may be beautiful or not beautiful externally, but we can always become beautiful internally by accepting the process of Krishna consciousness. So therefore, when we are touched by Krishna, so then there is a miracle. Of course, some times ago here, Bhurijan Prabhu was here, he was giving a japa talk. He made this statement. He said that we should allow Krishna to touch our consciousness when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So when Krishna touches us, especially our consciousness, then there is transformation of the heart. So here Krishna she touched Krishna, and in reciprocation Krishna touched her chin and made her straight. And he is a Purushottama. Purushottama made this Sairandri into Pramadottama. Pramadottama is best of the ladies. So thus we are supposed to be touched by Krishna, especially our consciousness. We should allow. Krishna is willing to touch us. So are we willing to accept the touch of Krishna in our life? That makes all the difference. So therefore, the art of becoming happy, the art of buying happiness is to be touched by Krishna, to serve Krishna and serve Krishna's devotees and serve the people in general. When we do this, we can actually become happy, because being touched by Krishna, our life will be sublime. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.